Willowkeeper. So I'm kind of curious, you know, once again, I mean, you made a point how, well, they have the strategy of doing a little bit of a junker with the creep pulling and whatnot, kind of like we see with Zlapton Behemoth. So, but these couple times we've seen him played with Willowkeeper has been playing more of the conventional.
Yeah,
in the end,
I think it's because, I mean, like, Fusion loves Magnus. Like, it's almost always his first pick. Just because you can almost lane him and put him in almost any role, like mid, suicide, secondary support. And normally, I mean, I only talked about the jungle strat, but to be fair, in that sense, that's kind of a niche kind of strategy. And they'd only pull it out if they feel that they're going to keep the lanes, you know, sort of safe in like a defensive tri lane. But most of the games they've been playing, when they picked up the Magnus in the secondary support role, they decided to go aggressive tri lane because they wanted to shut down the enemy short lane. But I mean, if it does call for it, where they don't want to man up and they just want to keep the lanes like a defensive tri lane, they normally just keep, say, like a solo mid and then run the jungle Magnus. And it is really interesting to see, actually. And it looks so weird. I mean, the first time they did it against us, we was like, what the... It was so confused on what was going down. But it works out really, really well, though. They get a lot of farm on a secondary support, like almost as much as, say, like a suicide, if not like a mid, like a 250 to 280 GPM, and on us, like a secondary support. It makes so much difference. You get that portal key so quickly, and he starts ganking around like the middle lane as well. They just play it so well, and it's like a nice little niche strategy that would be quite cool to see here.
Yeah.
But against an Ophelia or like an aggressive jungler, it's something you probably most likely won't see because of the potential that the other enemy jungler has a chance to sort of screw it up.
Yeah.
That's why they normally ban out the Parasite, because Parasite is one of the strongest things to sort of screw it up. But we do see Ophelia here. They might do it, they might not, but probably not because the potential Ophelia has to sort of screw it up. We'll see, I guess.
Now, that's kind of interesting. They banned Warbeast with their first ban. Now, I mean, they could still do a Suicide Warbeast. That wouldn't be out of the question. I mean, but it's probably a lot less likely that we're going to see a Warbeast here, to be honest. But they do just making sure. I mean, it is a strong combo, the Warbeast Ophelia, then you throw a Drunken Master on top of that, so I can understand why. Still, you just don't want to have to deal with that if possible. So, but yeah, the Ophelia pick coming out, so I'm going to see what you got most likely play that this game around. And see some. It's been a while since we've seen some consistent Ophelia play, because it's usually banned or just not picked up much anymore. But the jungle situation. But Warbeast Engineer Slither Empath so far going to be coming out here after the Torture Drunken Ophelia for the Hellborn team. Magnus, Bubbles, and Aluna for Willowkeeper. It's Keeper of the Forest. Interesting.
Yeah, it looks like they're sort of scared to go against heavy push, actually. Remember we used to see like Silibar like in the short lane with Ophelia and stuff like a Torturer, which sort of tends to me that they might be going for maybe like a late game strategy. They pick up with the Wretched Hag, actually, a strong hero because his farming potential in the late game. They might even pick up a potential another sort of secondary semi-carry, perhaps the Madman. I know they do like to run that Madman quite often. And one thing actually, I know Tree do quite a lot. They sometimes even dual lane a Wretched Hag, actually, or even tri lane a Wretched Hag, which sounds quite strange, but they do it, and it works not as bad as you may think, actually. And they might even run the Jungle Magnus here, actually. They haven't picked up obviously a jungler because they've got the secondary support, and something they never ever do is go aggressive tri lane. Normally, when they have, or when they're against an aggressive jungler, because they're sort of scared to run an aggressive tri lane against a defensive pseudo tri lane, particularly with like an offensive jungler like Ophelia. So if we're going to see a jungle Magnus, it's most likely to be this game. Actually, in theory, seeing that they probably won't dual mid like a Bubbles or a Hag, unless depending on the pick. But I mean, the draft coming out from Willowkeeper is so diverse and so like versatile that they could do anything and lane anything. So trying to sort of say what they're going to do is quite difficult. On the other hand, on Hellborn, it's quite obvious what they're going to do. Obviously, put the Ophelia in a jungle, regardless if they're going to go offensive or not. Probably put the Gemini short lane. They can either run the Drunken Suicide and then pick up a dual mid, perhaps. Or even they're most likely actually going to run a pseudo aggressive, because you want to put a Gemini perhaps with a support, because he's not the strongest of solo laners. So if they are going to probably run aggressive pseudo, it'd be with a Gemini and Torturer.
I think a Tempest could be a great pickup here. I know they usually don't play that jungle, perhaps, but I honestly think just a Tempest pickup here could make a lot of sense for Willowkeeper. It's got the AoE synergy. It's great locked in against like the Gemini and the Drunken Master, who usually can mitigate some abilities with what they have. But obviously the Arcane or not the Arcane Vortex, well, the ultimate of Tempest, the Elemental Void. It's been a while since I've seen Tempest. Very good against that, but no, they go Myrmidon here. Okay.
They just never play junglers. Like, I mean, Tempest would work quite well, but to be honest, Tempest is too passive for their kind of play. I mean, it might work perfectly in a BMG or Stay Green, but Willowkeeper just don't run it. They want to get the early kills on the board, and they don't like sitting back. They're quite like offensive players, and they just want to net the kills wherever possible.
Yeah. Myrmidon though coming out, and that's so. I mean, this has to be a tri lane now, right?
I think they will tri lane. I think they might even go aggressive pseudo. I mean, aggressive tri lane against the pseudo defensive tri lane. I said they don't normally do it, but I mean it's quite easy to sort of, in a sense, strike down Ophelia because they can block her camps. So she won't be the strongest of potentials in this defensive pseudo tri lane actually.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. Game number 2 going to be. Oh, excuse me. Game number 2 going to be coming at you with Willowkeeper versus The Last of Us. Again, Willowkeeper up 1-0, trying to take care of business here. Get a nice 3-point bonus with the 2-0 series victory, but The Last of Us obviously going to put up a good fight at least, and wouldn't be surprised to see that Game 3 once again. So, all right, so that tri lane setup here. We'll talk about the Ophelia here and whatnot for the Hellborn team. Maybe usually don't like to go up against that, but again, with what they have, it just seems like we're probably going to see that in this case, though.
Yeah, I mean, Fusion's picked up a Revward as well, which, and they're sort of running top lane, so at least they're going to block Ophelia's camps. And if they're going to block Ophelia's camps, I don't see why not. They shouldn't go aggressive tri lane here. They've got 2 strong solo lanes with the Hag and the Bubbles. So. And Box has been playing the Magma switch normally tends, so he's going to be the person in a tri lane. So. And I think they just want to shut down the Gemini. I mean, that hero is so strong late game if you can get the free farm. So they just want to sort of shut it down before it gets too out of hand.
Yeah, it's almost an understatement. I mean, this hero he has one of the hardest capabilities as far as carry potential. I think you could say just simply because of that passive of his, skills and everything. So
I think this Gemini is going to be suicide though.
Yeah, he is headed down there, and
because he hasn't got a hatchet, and normally if you're being a short lane carry, you almost always get a hatchet. He's got the shield buckler, and he's got the 3 set of regen. He's running to the bottom lane. We used to see Suicide Gemini by Twingfang, actually, and he used to level up stats, if I remember correctly. But after the nerfs coming on to the Elemental Force, I think leveling up the 2 spells is probably the preferable option. But, I mean, I haven't played Suicide Gemini even before the nerf, so I'm not 100% sure what the common Suicide Gemini build is here.
Yeah.
I think, though, after the nerf on the Elemental Force, I think leveling up the Q and W just for the early presence in the laning phase and the game potential, I think is probably preferable. But we'll have to see. I mean, the Suicide Gemini is kind of good in the sense because a lot of the suicides nowadays, they either have almost 2 roles. Either they go for the initiation sort of type of suicides, like the Kraken, the Bubbles, even the Magma suicide, or they go for like the sort of carry suicides, like the Drunkens, Madmans, and Gemini obviously fulfills that sort of carry suicide. Because although you might be suffering in the early game, you can easily bounce back and get your farm in the end. So I'll be interested to see how this Gemini actually works out here in the suicide lane.
Yeah, so Ophelia's heading towards the bottom. She went the boots first here on the Hellborn side. She's actually going to go to the other jungle, going to avoid any kind of support harassment, at least that's the idea, I would assume. But where is Willowkeeper going to end up? I kind of wonder if they may... Yeah, they're going to send Magnus up here. Is this going to be the tri-lane makeup? The aggressive dual lane, maybe? Myrmidon's going to come up here as well. And, I mean, you did talk about a Wretched Hag lane partner is not out of the question now. He has a ward of sight on Luna, so I wonder if he's going to place that and then go elsewhere. But no, it looks like he's going with Wretched Hag.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen them do this before, and it's kind of really funky and really weird, and you're like, oh, it doesn't work, but I've seen them do it. But she's going back bottom, so maybe she will stay bottom, and maybe they've realised that Ophelia is going to be in this jungle, so Luna might try and box her out in a sense.
You see, there's the pull attempt from Gemini, but no, Luna's going to hero block him, kind of wants to try to delay it as much as he can, but no, Ophelia's going to kind of step in and take some harassment. So this is an interesting start here, to say the least. Ophelia actually, you need to be careful there, because tanking the creeps as well, so Gonna be fine, but...
And the Luna's a better level 1 anyway, particularly as she's bought minor totems and Ophelia bought boots. So.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Luna's chasing. Oh, I missed the power throw. I mean, that's quite a big deal. Like, he doesn't have mana for the second power throw, and Ophelia might be able to man up against him now, actually.
No,
so I don't think
110. Yeah,
I don't think he's going to kill him, though.
No, yeah. Ophelia needs to play very careful, so... Yeah, she's going to explode the Pestula and then run away. So she's going to go back to her own jungle here. So yeah, this did not go as planned. Yeah,
but if you shut down an Ophelia, though, she doesn't really offer... I mean, she sort of scales... she doesn't scale at all and quite falls off quite particularly, actually, in the late game. And so she doesn't have a good start or doesn't have a big impact in the early game. The peak isn't really that useful. So I do like, you know, a Luna sort of shutting her down at least for the time being. In the meanwhile, top what lane, actually, they're going to try and reduce Drunken Master's farm as much as possible, but that hero is so... Oh, missed stun by Magnus there, actually. That's a shame.
Oh, yeah.
It's so hard to sort of lock down this Drunken because he's so strong in the laning phase, particularly with that. So he jumps in on the Magnus, actually.
They're missing some abilities here. I mean, Weedfield's not the easiest to land, but they missed Lava Surge, and actually Magnus is going to take some good damage before being pushed back all the way. So yeah, as you put it, I mean, Drunken Master, no doubt a very strong laner. And he's kind of showing that here, granted his abilities. If you're the Legion team over here, they're going to get a good push, though. Get some, at least level 2. Out of the push that's happening. So yeah, they send the Torture to the middle lane. I mean, could you argue actually sending Torture to the top lane and having him babysit the Drunken Master, or is it just makes sense to get Meraxes?
The only problem, yeah, is Meraxes is like a pretty bad laner, but he needs to get sat. And Bubbles is a strong 1v1 level, and he's already got the XP advantage over the Meraxes now. So if Torture does rotate, this Bubbles is going to like completely stomp this Meraxes. I mean, and that's the problem. Like Meraxes, yeah, is a good initiator and all, but like compared to say other initiators like Gauntlet, who can sort of handle themselves in a solo lane if they do not get the support, is obviously quite better. And Meraxes, he needs that support because he's just quite a weak lane. And I said before, like Willowkeeper do love to run the solo mid normally. Oh, they're going in on Bubbles. I don't think they're going to kill him though.
No, chain reactions hits, but yeah.
He's going to
oh, and actually, Shell Surf maybe? Yep. He can't dodge it. Yep. He could not dodge it. He goes with a port, and he is successful. Yep. Diglett knew as soon as he started running away, he's like, I might be in trouble.
Yeah, like a crackhead box here, one of those players that you misplay a tiny little misstep and they will punish you for it completely. And now look at this Bubbles, a 1v2 lane, and he's higher than the farmer with the support. And this is the problem, like, it's really hard really to try and box out the solo laner in the middle lane if you're the support. Because the lane is so short compared to say the top or bottom lane, and this is why Willowkeeper really do like to sort of run the solo mid because the solo lane really gets farm and definitely will get XP and even has the chance to make big plays like that. And now top lane actually Drunken Master might be in trouble.
Yeah, that was actually. If the weed field was just out of range. Magnus stunned in the weed field, though the length of it was just out of range of Drunken Master. If he got hit by the weed field, he might have actually been dead, to be honest. Well, he might have ran away at the same time. But anyways, the point being that was really close to almost getting turned on and almost backfiring. But going to be fine in the end. So yeah, Myrmidon, he's going to take the bottle, though, and go for the top room. But good job by Torturer. Actually getting it first for his teammate in that haste rune right there. I'm going to have that taken care of. So, but yeah, you look at the GPM chart right now. Top 3 farmers all on the side of the Legion team so far. It's only 4 minutes into the game, so don't look into that too much. But so the start is better for Willowkeeper.
Yeah, and the even worse thing is that now Bubbles is closing on level 6. I can assure you that either Myrmidon or Luna will rotate to the middle lane and set up a gank for this Bubbles, or if Bubbles will rotate for a gank either top or bottom. And with this sort of XP lead, because he got that first blood, it's going to really spell disaster. I mean, once Cracky gets a good start, he really does punish the other team for giving him the amount of farm they really shouldn't have. Top lane, though, Myrmidon might be in trouble. Good weed field.
Yeah, they saw him come with the ward aside that was recently placed. Magnus, though, he's still in a lot of trouble. Magikarp is going to force Drunken Master to slow down a little bit at least, but I don't know if Magnus is getting out of this. Oh, maybe the creep wave block. No, not enough. He leaps right over it. Going to be fine. Ophelia's going to chase down Myrmidon, but he, too, will survive. So, but yeah, good turnaround right there. An excellent rotation coming out. From The Last of Us, Torture specifically. So if Torture's going to stay up here, no, he's going to give some regen, hand it off, and then actually head back towards the middle lane. I was going to say, if you're Magnus, do you go back to the top lane at this point? But I don't see why not, actually. Might as well.
the only problem is that Meraxis is suffering. He has recovered like a tiny bit, but still, Bubbles is winning the lane, or he might even be able to kill that Meraxis there if he ported on that Shell Surf. Unfortunately there, but anyway, yeah, Bubbles at high level. Now level 6, I mean, he's going back to base. I think he's going to go back to base and then maybe TB to the top lane or the bottom lane, trying to set up a kill either on the Gemini or the Drunken Master. I know Cracky really does like to get active, particularly when he gets level 6. He makes quite a big point to try and use that ultimate and get like an early kill and put his team further ahead in front.
Mm-hmm. You see right there, Moraxis actually goes to the observatory with the haste and he picks up a health potion. And then he went to the bottom rune. It wasn't an illusion rune, but I think he was hoping for something like a double damage because he might have gone bottom right there and looked for a kill, but in the end, just decides to go back to the middle lane and continue to farm. Aluna ports top lane. So they're kind of running that trial lane up here now. They're going to be looking for a kill here. We'll see if they can maybe land that onto Drunken Master. Drunken Master level 7, so again, he's managed to get some pretty good levels at this top lane. As far as farm goes, I know it is better for Magnus, of course, but actually, if Magnus goes in, this could be a kill. He's going to use the Steam Bath first. Are they going to go? I mean, Magnus running away. What the hell?
Yeah, that
he
was
would have bought Steam Boots.
Yeah, that was a little bit miscommunication. I think they might even be able to drop that Drunken Master if they stack their stuns properly, actually. And Bubbles has his TP ready as well. He's ready to sort of TP to any lane, try and set up a gank or even a counter a gank, etc. So, or bottom lane, yep. Gemini's going to be falling. And this is the problem. Like I said, when I thought Gemini was going to be like a solo lane, say in the short lane, I said his potential is quite bad because his laning phase is quite poor, and it's showing here. Like it's only 150 GPM, and Hag's really sort of stomping on him. Because the laning phase is just too poor for a Gemini. Really, he needs to get sacked by that support if he's going to have a good time.
Mm-hmm. Ophelia has a Skeleton King. She doesn't have any mana on herself, but yeah, they're going to go to the top lane. They jump on Drunken Master first. Kelphiel comes out, and down goes Drunken. You see Ophelia just kind of heading over, but could not get there nearly in time. So yeah, Bubbles' movement sets up a kill.
He really does like to sort of focus on sort of getting some ganks off wherever possible. In like mid lane, it's like if he's not going to get ganks for himself in the mid lane, he'll try and set up ganks for his team in other lanes. The Widowmaker really do like to get that early gank and rotation, because they pick heroes that aren't strong, say late game, but they try and almost win the game, in the first sort of 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And this is sort of the style they like to play.
Yeah, that's definitely from the bit we've seen of them today. That makes sense. Kind of seems like their style. And yeah, this series at least it's most certainly working so far. Up 1-0 and good start in game 2. But actually, bottom lane, Myrmidon's getting some good damage. But now Gemini's in trouble. All of a sudden, Wretched Hag joins the party. He's going to split up right there. That might not be the best move. He goes back actually, so he gets away initially, but it's just not going to happen. He was trying anything, I guess, to get away right there, but that just wasn't going to happen. So. Good port in from Wretched Hag and response there on his part, and now he has his farms he actually picks up a ring mail. Okay, gonna be going Sackstone. That makes sense. I almost played in Grease for a second, but no, he already has Steam Boots. So yeah, gonna be going Sackstone here. Get some extra armor for early on in this game. Top lane, Boxy might be in a little bit of trouble. No, he's a little too quick there. He actually is going to be fine. So. No initiation. Yeah, no one over 300 gold per minute here on the Hellborn side. More access to the top at 280. And it kind of goes downhill from there. So, if you're this Hellborn team, I mean, middle lane, speaking of Moraxis, Aluna coming in now. He got the stomp off at least. He had to Matrax. But it does keep him alive. But I was going to say, what do you do? Well, they're going to push the top lane, so I don't know if they're going to successfully do it, though. Yeah,
I think there's TP on Bubbles, and he does have the Kelp field. He's rotating over there now, actually, and especially with like a Magnus level 7, that Lava Stun is doing quite a lot of damage, and I think you could easily sort of set up with an Eruption as well, particularly if TP's do show up. So pushing the tier 1 tower. Oh, top lane might be going on. They're going to go on a Magnus right here, but again, quick Steam Bath, and they just are forced to run away. So. Yeah, I mean, Hag had a TP as well, and if they did really try and commit onto that tier 1 tower, I think that might have went quite bad. They only had 3 players up there pushing the tier 1, and Legion could have easily rotated. And I might be trying to go for this Ophelia, actually. As Hag is actually chasing down Gemini in the meantime. Gemini's going to split up, though. He's not going to use his abilities, though, in the end. Wretched Hag is just going to TP out and be fine. So, yeah, Ophelia having to run away. Got some support, though, and is also going to survive. Bubbles, though, he jumps into the middle lane. Okay, just looking to farm it. Actually, he might be in a bad spot if he's not careful. He
does have a haste turn active, but Miraxis is going to do some good damage to him.
He had the ultimate.
Force him away.
He did actually.
Yeah, true.
Just coming off cooldown for Matrix then.
Does he have Kelp Field? He does. So Luna is here. But I don't know if they're going to go for that kill. No, he's going to go to the yellow camp instead. And clean that out. Magnus has 1,000 gold saved up, so on the way to the portal key, or maybe not. Is this... I would think this, I don't know, this game I just don't... Last game, I mean, they had a lot of momentum early on, maybe, and they were diving... I don't know. I just can't see him going home this game. I just think portal key just makes too much sense, but...
Yeah, I mean... And I think if he was going to go Helmet, he might have built up the Ring of Hell for the Beast Heart now, but he hasn't picked up that. Top lane, there might be fights up here, actually.
Stuns away initially as Drunken Master saw him, so... They try to commit. I mean, that's a big army there for Ophelia, Vagabond Catman, and a Skeleton King. But he couldn't make use of it, so... Is Bubbles up here? No, Bubbles is actually currently at base still. He does have that TP, though. If it calls for it. So, but yeah, the way he's saving up gold too, it does seem like we are going to more than likely see a portal key. But Wretched Hag will just gladly, freely push the bottom lane in. And her start is strong. I mean, Wretched Hag, you just thinking the usual here, the Grimoire.
Yeah, I think there's no reason why. I think he's going to try and get this top lane, but like I said, I mean, Bubbles has got his TP as well as Hag, and it's so risky. Like, I mean, Miraxis isn't there. Oh, they're going in. Yeah,
they are going to make a fight happen. Drunken Master, though, puts himself in horrible position because of this. His team is not ready to respond. Ophelia's touch comes out. Maybe that's going to save him. Maybe not. Bubbles, the Shell Surf did not damage him, but the Untouchable was up anyways. And mitigating plenty. So that was close to getting backfired big time, but...
Yeah, I thought Bubbles could have used the Kelp for there, just because he didn't decide to use it because he didn't want to waste it. But yeah, that was actually quite a risky play coming up for the last of us, though. Miraculous and Gemini were not ready to take that fight, and the Willowkeeper, all four of them were there and ready to fight. I think they got quite lucky. Actually, middle lane.
Yeah, this is why he didn't Kelp Field there, because he wanted it for here. Miraxis Matrax comes out, but the lockdown is going to be really strong here. And there's the... Eruption coming out from Magnus to help finish things off and guarantee it. So Torture was kind of nearby, but again, not much he could do there in that case. A good movement from Willowkeeper.
And I think that's probably the best pickup they could actually have gotten, actually. And Miraxis was closing in on his Portalkin, and Magnus has nearly got his. And once Willowkeeper have got the initiation factor, it's that team that will really have... oh, Hag might be in trouble, actually.
Or is Torture in trouble? Oh, nice stun, though, from Gemini coming out. Oh. But the blink at the last second, it doesn't matter, though. It's actually something... I don't even know what killed him, to be honest.
It's the twin breath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a damage over time.
Gotcha.
Like,
I honestly did not even know that. Wow. I thought it was just a straight-up damage. Okay.
But yeah, like Miraxis is really far off his portal kit, and when another team has a portal kit and the initiation factor, like the team fights go so much in favour of the person with the portal kit. So he does go to the portal kit, which I'm definitely more a fan of than the top lane. Drunken's going in. Yeah,
he's not afraid to dive these towers. This time it definitely works out, at least initially, onto a Luna. No ports coming in from Willowkeeper. So, but Magnus stuns in. Here's those ports coming in, and now Drunken Master, he's in no man's land. He got the kill initially, but it is going to come at a cost. The Shell Surf snipes him. And down falls Drunken, so they exchange in favor of the Legion team. And actually, they're going for more. It's Wretched Hag especially. He has a Bat Blast. No, 80-second cooldown. Is going to maybe chase. No, he actually Sonar Scream right there. He's going to finish off the creep wave. Or the creeps, even. Maybe, or no, he wants to kill an Ophelia, actually. He's going to chase after him. Chain Reactions comes out there. Wretched Hag being turned. The Alchemist Ogre also assisting. Magnus stuns in, though, and now Torture's in trouble. The Sonar Scream hits nothing right there. He was just panic mode. But actually, Torture made it falling anyways. Maybe not. Ophelia's touch comes out. Bubbles is nearby, though, putting in some bottom attacks, too. And finally, Torture falls, so the dive continues. It took them forever, but...
And look at the kills and the saves coming out just because of one item, the portal key. Mirax actually might be in trouble here as well.
Or he might be going in himself. Yeah, I don't know if they're comfortable enough with what they have here to commit onto him, so... Yep, gonna be fine. Is Soul Surf away, so... Yeah, but the portal key, again, no doubt
Yeah, like it got kill on the Drunken as well as the kill on the Torturer, and it saved Wretched Hag as well. And like, if the Miraxis has portal key, that it cancels it out, and the team fight's gonna be so much more in favour of the Last of Us. But that sort of portal key initiation, having that X factor over the enemy team, it's kind of like you know when like that Astrolabe advantage, you know when BMG and Stay Green were fighting, it was always a fight to get the first one to get their Astrolabes, which would give either side the advantage in team fights, and it's the same here with portal keys with Magnus and Miraxis, and And that 2 deaths on Diglett is really hampering him now.
Yeah.
Damaging him in terms of sort of how the potential's going in terms of the team fighting.
Yeah, I mean, he has another 1350 gold saved up, so even with those 2 deaths, I mean, he's working towards it. It's going to come at a decent time, but yeah, it could have been much earlier if it wasn't for those deaths that happened. Now, bottom lane, Gemini and Torture, they're going to look to jump Wretched Hag right here, maybe. If they catch him pushing up a little bit further, I mean, he's tempting it.
I don't know if they have the damage.
That's true, though, yeah. I guess pretty tanky here at this point. And, yeah, he's going to finish off the Hell Cannon. So I don't think he's going to continue to push. It probably should be fine in the end. He is working on the light brand, by the way. So, yeah, the obvious here of the Grimoire. No reason to fix what ain't broken.
Yeah.
That certainly isn't.
Well, they might try again, though, bottom lane.
Okay, there you go. There's a stun. Nice stun initially by Gemini, but again, do they have the damage? It's the question. They do. Man.
Wow, so close.
Yeah.
That burst coming out from Gemini, actually, when he splits up into that dogfight. Well, top lane, actually.
Myrmidon skirting away with the waveform right there. Bubbles goes up with the Kelfield. They're going to change it. Nice line stun there from Magnus using that portal key. Ophelia somehow still alive. Finally dead, and she's sent Drunken Master back, though, so very good timing there. As Torture and Moraxis do port to the top lane, and so does Drunken Master, so he's already ready back to fight. And the Legion team needs to be careful about this. Myrmidon's not going in. Magnus does it, but he realized this might not have been a good decision right here. Weefield comes out. Myrmidon goes down. But yes, Willowkeeper is the one running away now. Magnus ends up falling, and the Last of Us is fighting back strong right here. Drunken Master, he is still chasing, as Bubbles needs to somehow escape right here. Aluna somehow able to TP out, but Bubbles is still not out of the woods just yet, literally. Drunken Master trying to catch him, but no.
Yeah, that was just really kind of lackluster play coming up from the Willowkeeper. Yeah, they got some good kills onto the Ophelia there, but I mean, they wasted a lot of mana and a lot of cooldowns, and they just weren't ready to take the next team fight, and the Last of Us were, you know, quick and ready to respond, and now that gives Moraxis his portal key, and they lost the tier 1 top as well, and that's really swung back the Last of Us back into this game now, and it's just something, you know, the Willowkeeper were not focused in that split second, and as a result, you know, they get almost team wiped completely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was very, very close right there, and I mean, as overall the Golden Experience lead, it's obviously even swayed in favor of The Last of Us now. Now, still the top 2 farmers actually belong to Willowkeeper. With that said, it's Wretched Hag and Magnus are actually both up. And again, Hag has that life brand finish. But yeah, you got the portal key now on Moraxis. Drunken Master, he's definitely starting to recover himself. Nearly 300 GPM is Fuzzy Sloth. And probably see a Soul's Bulwark to be coming out on him. And then again, Ophelia's presence. Not only has her ultimate been a saving grace a couple times, but the Astrolabe, obviously a big item pick up to have here, working towards a tablet. So a lot of team fight and assistance is starting to assist or to come out here. And also that scary damage potential. We saw Gemini at the bottom lane. Again, his burst potential, even with little that he has right now. So. And
he's recovered really well. I mean, this is the same Gemini who was like 150 GPM, getting absolutely dominated by the Hag. And it's come back at 260 GPM. It's pretty decent, and that's going to just increase even more and more. When, you know, he starts taking over the jungle, where Ophelia sort of starts, you know, tapering off and stuff, and they might try and get this Wretched Hag again bottom lane actually.
What's going to happen here? Yeah, again, are they going to be able to lock him down enough? Yes, they are. Again, the damage output is just too much. It's deja vu, man. I mean, that was the same combo, the same exact way, nearly the same spot.
I mean, it's perfect coordination there. Gemini stuns in, and then Torch comes in just after that, and then the burst. Oh, and Miraculous bottom lane.
Yeah, he is going to go erupt in, and that should be a kill on Gemini. So, yep, good counter kill in the meantime. As Magnus able to get some revenge for his teammate. But, I mean, no doubt the coordination is definitely there to get the kill initially.
Yeah. So close. Like, you still blink, a Hag trying to blink out, but just not quick enough. I mean, it looks like Magnus is going for the puzzle box, actually. We saw Probosk was using it quite a lot, actually, as Fade. And I think it's kind of good. Like, it gives not only like the extra burst potential with the minions, but, you know, the map presence and the pushing potential as well, but also for you know, the mid initiators that are normally like either strength or even agility in terms of Fade, they offer that extra bit of mana and intelligence issues that most sort of non-intelligence heroes have. So you know, you can always keep using the spells, which is an important thing for initiator, regardless of you know, what stage of the game.
Indeed, indeed. So Drunken Master, he falls back before he gets caught at the top side, as Myrmidon was kind of setting things up. But now 2,500 gold saved on Drunken, so I thought he may just go to the Soul's Bulwark for the earlier on farm with that, but no, maybe going probably a straight shrunken head him, I think, at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much like magical damage coming out from Willowkeeper this time that they really do lack it. They're really lacking physical damage. Like they've got the Hag, but I mean, even that isn't that much physical late game, and that's only really late, like, super late game when the physical presence of Wretched Hag starts to come in to play. So if they can pick up, the Shrunken Head on even the Drunken as well as Miraxis, and you could even argue that Gemini should get one as well, and then Legion are really going to be suffering when that happens. Yeah. Unless they're really far ahead, that the Shrunken Head shouldn't matter too much. The game when the Willowkeeper were playing against Reason Gaming, they were fighting against a heavy magical damage team, but it didn't matter too much because Reason just got too far ahead in terms of golden XP that sort of items carried them, even when the hero composition didn't.
Middle lane push coming in here from Willowkeeper. They're setting up on the Hellborn side. Ophelia is already here. Gemini in the background. I don't think they're going to be able to react to nearly fast enough, though. No, it's easy tower kill in the end. Obviously, just they're counter pushing at least at the top lane, so happy with that. Are they going to go for a counter kill? Magnus? Yeah.
Magnus channeled Eruption, but
oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, because they were running back in the end. But
huh. Well, thought I had the right idea right there, but that was also obviously a good response from The Last of Us. Making sure that they were aware of the situation and fall back before anything dangerous happens. Now, Wretched Hag, she's going to run into her Drunken Master right there, but going to be fine. I want to say she must have the Blessed Orb already. Maybe not, though, but I feel like she's been sitting on that gold for a
She has been picked off twice by the
That's
Gemini.
true. That has slowed it down.
Yeah.
Maybe not then.
It's only top lane actually. You might get picked off. Gemini coming in as well.
Oh jeez, yeah, they're gonna have to chase on top, and the Twin Fangs. Oh, he was hoping that he'd catch the port, but it didn't matter in the end.
Yeah, luckily that Drunken was there. Like,
yeah,
he looked like he was gonna set it up straight after the Minotaur stun, but he went in for the Trimber, probably thinking that he wouldn't be able to kill him in time with the stun coming up from Twin Fangs. But in the end, luckily the Drunken was there, because otherwise I think that Hag was definitely going to survive. But like, another kill, even putting him further back behind Grimoire. And this is really good coming out from the Hellborn team, because the later this goes on, and trying to shut down probably Hag is the main important target, because he's probably the strongest late game presence coming out from the Legion side. Gemini getting picked off there. But yeah, the later this goes for the Hellborn side, it's just going to look better and better in terms of sort of team fight because of the superior late game they have with Drunken and Gemini.
Absolutely. So, but again, a pick right there for Willowkeeper on Gemini, speaking of him. And that's definitely at least calming things down once again, but still, Wretched Hag really could use that Grimoire power on him, and then, kind of going off of that, obviously, then eventually maybe even the Shrunken Head is the usual follow-up, and really don't see why that would be different this time around, so... speaking of that, Shrunken Head just picked up by Drunken Master, so he now has that to work with here. Talbot of Command was also just recently finished on Ophelia. And what did Magnus just go? Is that another puzzle box? Okay. Thought I saw something else for a second, but no, it's level 2 puzzle box being delivered, yeah. That he's going to have coming out to him. So again, I don't know if he's made use of that just yet, but he has the puzzle box nonetheless to make use of at least.
Gemini picks up the Mighty Blade here. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Dawnbringer, although Shrunken Head wouldn't be too bad either. Oh, bottom lane. Oh, illusions.
Jump, no.
But that mini-map,
yeah.
so frustrating. I see like two colours going at it, and I was oh, solutions. But yeah, I think it might be just like Dawnbringer. I mean, that hero is so core on that hero. I mean, that Gemini and Shadowblade is like the perfect pickup for Dawnbringers. But I mean, Shrunken Head would still work. I mean, we talked about Legion side, just complete magical damage, and once you get Shrunken Head, it almost nullifies it. But one thing to note though, Willowkeeper, I mean, they run a lot of these sort of heavy magical sort of early game sort of drafts, and even when it goes into the late game, they play it so well. I mean, I've played against them, and even like you could have like a heavy late game and still lose to it just because of the way they use these heroes. They've played these heroes over and over again. They know exactly how to initiate, how to team fight. Even if they should be losing these team fights, they end up almost winning just because of how well they initiate and play these team fights. So I mean, this game is definitely still open, even if it goes into the late game. That's for sure.
Yeah, still has plenty left. I mean, 25 minutes in, and again, as far as the overall stat skill, still fairly even. Magnus continues to be the top farmer in the game, actually, and working towards finishing that level 3 puzzle box. But yeah, again, the Grimoire power, and hey, it's been a long time since we've really since Wretched has been the consistent go-to carry. But the point being that, you know, the Grimoire, and we know how fast she can excel after she gets that, especially right into the Shrunken Head shortly after, and then continues progressing from there. And again, a lot of damage output, especially when she's level 16 with that level 3 Bat Blast. So the potential is there. And actually, they're going to go to the middle lane right here. And now Torture is there, but even with him reacting immediately, it just didn't matter. The puzzle box as well as everything else assisting for the kill. Drunken wants a kill, damn it. Nope, the takeover, though. Good reaction there. And actually, Torture, Magnus does back in. He picks up the kill. The puzzle box minion's doing work here for Boxy. Drunken's going to be fine, it looks like. But, geez, yeah, that's... I wonder if they almost didn't realize that themselves. But the nice mana burn came out, and all of a sudden, Torture almost died. And he eventually died.
I mean, that puzzle box is really paying off. Like, normally we'd see like mid-initiators if you go like Shrunken or Bulwark or even like Hellflower. I think that's what Miraculous might pick up actually. But puzzle box though, I mean, the item is really, really good, and it has multiple uses actually, which is always nice. You know, the versatility is always nice. Because you know, you can pick up in almost any situation and still be useful.
Didn't that? God, I remember way back in the day. I mean, I know it was really a Dota thing in the first place, kind of translated to Hunt initially, but you were only allowed to ever have like one puzzle box in a game. Like that used to be a rule.
Yeah.
Because of just how strong it was.
They have the cooldown on the recipe, didn't they, in Hunt? So,
yeah, they do. Yeah. That kind of prevents that, I guess. But
yeah, I don't know the exact timing, but I mean, you could definitely even potentially like have more than one puzzle box. I mean, if one puzzle box is good, then I guess two puzzle boxes is great.
Oh,
you know.
Yeah, no.
On terms of that logic. But I think the recipe cooldown is one issue.
It kind of, yeah, it stalls from obviously that being an issue, but I always found that interesting. That and even like things like 2 sheep sticks per team max was always a rule too, and I always thought that, or like 2 CC items in general. It's like I don't know if that's necessary. I mean, if they get the farm for more than 2, then so be it. But yeah, no, that's just an old school thing. But anyways, Grimoire Power just finished by Wretched Hag. Again, she is level 16 as well, so that's a good timing. Now, Moraxis, they kind of run into each other right here, but Hag's going to blink away before anything dangerous really happens. I was going to say, I haven't really seen Gemini doing a whole lot of splitting up and farming this game.
I think that's one of like the strongest things about the hero. Like you can farm in like 2 places at once. You get like double XP obviously for one at ice and one at fire.
Yeah.
And maybe he's just scared to farm his own jungle at the moment. I mean, most of the Legion side off the map, he sends that fire dog into his own jungle. He's probably just scared that he's going to fall. But he does go the Shrunken Head actually, which I think is a fine pickup. Honestly, I know he doesn't have the greatest of stats, so maybe Shrunken Head could have came after the Dawnbringer, but. Like I said, as long as they get through perhaps the early onslaught coming out from this Legion side in terms of the magical damage, I think they do have the superior team fight in terms of late game, in theory anyway. Magnus coming in with
yeah. Oh, this could be huge. He also even has a double damage rune on him. Oh, jeez. Oh, this is setting up. How big is it going to be is the question. Now, again, they have no clue. Magnus is here. Magnus is going to jump in first. Merman on the target. He's going to end up falling right off the bat. Magnus is still invis in the background. That's only going to be lasting 20 more seconds. So, yeah, the whole team isn't really here. Wretched Hag is still kind of coming in. Now, Gemini and Torture are kind of off by themselves, but not enough. So, it was looking like this could have been a big setup, but okay, they're going to go back in. Now this is where it may happen. Yeah, he's going to look to channel right here, most likely. Going to look to jump in. No, never mind. Okay.
He doesn't have vision, though. He doesn't have vision.
That's true. Okay, that's fair.
It's going to be pretty awkward. He's just got to time it to perfection if he wants to.
Oh, no. Okay, here we go. There's the eruption. Moraxis jumps in first in the background. There's the eruption, and Kogor is still well alive, but the shells should follow up. One is down on Torture. Ophelia is still alive. Ophelia's touch comes out. Down goes Kogor. Did he get it? He got it. Boxy got the token of life. And Gemini's forced to fall back, and here we go with Willowkeeper chasing now in the background. Moraxis does pick off the Courier, actually, but he's forced to portal key away. The chase continues, however, the puzzle boxes are out, and Magnus ends up picking up another kill on a Gemini right there, and Hag is still chasing. He still has his Bat Blast, actually. He's going to Sonar Scream in, and will chase onto Ophelia at least. Drunken Master still off to the side. He's going to TP. He will be fine, but Boxy, what big plays.
This kid is just insane. Like He's not afraid to do anything. He's like, yeah, eruption, 5-man, yeah, I'll go in and just take it. And then he goes up and takes the token as well. Like, man, they were looking bad, honestly. Oh, they're going back in, actually.
Yeah, there's a nice stun, though, to save Wretched Hag, but now Magnus in a little bit of trouble. Tries to Steam Bath, obviously, the tower there, though. That ain't going to work. Bat Blast does come out, but, okay, he resurrects. Obviously, he did have the token. And yeah, they're going to go back in. Drunken Master gets caught by the weak foot. He has another stun. Drunken Master, a big stun from Meraxis, though. Hag, though, still in the outskirts, throws out the Sonar Scream. Drunken Master will live, however, as they pick up the kill on Magnus, and Meraxis skirts on out of there. So I think they've overstayed their welcome a little bit now in the end. And they will have to fall back. So good hold there, at least, by The Last of Us.
Yeah, I mean, but that's really well played coming out from Boxing and that token. Like, if they lose that token to the superior late game team, it's looking so bad for Willow Keeper. But really good though. It delays the next Congo for the next sort of 10 minutes, and it gives even more potential now for Willow Keeper to get back in this game and try and get a lead they probably need if they want to win the next team fights coming up. And now they've got Shrunken Heads on Drunken Master as well as Gemini, and I think Merax might even go for one as well, perhaps. And the more farm Drunken and Gemini gets, looking even worse and worse for Willow Keeper. But I mean, they're definitely in it though. You saw even though they were fighting against Shrunken Head, so the amount of damage they do after they fall down, and particularly on the other supports who don't have Shrunken Head as well, it's just insane amount of damage they have. It
is a lot, and actually Bubbles is also working on that sheepstick. Who Meraxis tries to jump a Luna. Unfortunately, just misses a stun. Meraxis does have that Hellflower finished, obviously, and not using it right there, but has that to use in the meantime. But Wretched Hag going to the top lane now. Going to maybe see if he can cut somebody off here. As no, not going to go in though. As Estelle will just go to the top lane. No, he's going to go into the jungle. Ophelia is kind of nearby, but just a little too far. Not to matter right there. So Meraxis going back in right here on a Myrmidon this time, and now Myrmidon's in a lot of trouble. He's going to more of a supporting cast, yeah. And he drops a bound die. That's big. That's a big pickup for the Hellborn team right there.
Yeah, I mean, Legion really do need this map control, because I mean they still have the superior sort of gank potential, but I mean now losing that bound die, I mean they're going to be losing map control, and there might be even more in fights actually coming up here. Bubbles just away, gets away, but yeah, now they lose that bound die, it's going to be really hard to really get any sort of gank going off, because the ward's going to be cleared and the map control even lost, and they're going to lose this tier 2 as well. Actually, more engagements might be coming out.
Yeah, Luna's not in the best spot here. She's kind of in a bad position, to say the least. Bubbles gets caught, though, in mid-shell surf, and he ends up falling. Magnus stuns him, but now Magnus is going to get caught. This is falling apart for the Legion team. Bat Blast does hit multiple heroes, but there is no follow-up, and even Drunken Master, he is still going into the base. So big catches there from The Last of Us. And now they're going to push down this middle tower easily when it's all said and done. So yeah, that's your case of maybe a little bit too much help and communication not necessarily all there for Willow Keeper.
Yeah, and now it's looking quite bad for Willow Keeper. I mean, they're going against a team that's got the superior late game, and now they're sort of 10k XP, which isn't the biggest of deals in the later game, but I mean 3.5k gold, and Gemini getting more farm. Drunken probably working his way probably to a shield breaker next, unless he wants to finish the demonic, and now losing the second tier 2 tier bottom. I mean, Willow Keeper definitely had their backs against the wall. They've got to put out something special if they want to take this game and finish out without a game of 3.
Yeah, definitely trying to take care of business here, obviously, and not only just to get the series finished with, but on top of that, again, you do get that bonus point if you win a series 2 games to nothing. You get 3 points in total compared to 2 for a 2-1 victory. So several reasons as you really just want to get the job done. But hey, The Last of Us, they're fighting for that 3rd game. And a chance to even take the series himself, obviously. But Wretched Hag going to pick up farm where she can here in the Hellborn jungle for the time being. There is Drunken Master up here, but no way she's getting a kill by herself, and actually needs to be careful. She blinks, but she's going to blink right into Meraxis, realizing this is a bad decision. She is going to be Hellflower. Meraxis jumps in with the portal key. Can she blink away in time? Yes, she can, and I don't think they're going to be able to chase after. Okay, she is fine, so that was close, though.
That was a little bit strange coming out from Diglett. I mean, he saw him just about blink. I mean, he used the stun as well, but he overlapped the Hellflower as well as the Quake, and that gave enough time for Hag to eventually blink out. His team was definitely running over. I think if he maybe staggered the Hellflower and the Quake combination, I think that Hag was definitely going to be falling. But in the end, Hag does survive in the end, and he's going to be working his way to a Shrunken Head. So hopefully, if he can pop that Shrunken Head before Hellflower, he should be able to be fine. And Gemini picks up a Mighty Blade or X at the Malphite in the end. Yeah, I mean. And strength really, really works so well on this Gemini. I mean, as he's picked up a Shrunken Head as well, he's trying to bulk up, but that element of force, using it as a armor penetration, actually, probably one of the best sort of heroes to really stack armor, to stack strength on. Sorry, because it scales so well into the late game. It's almost like a shield breaker potential.
Yeah,
just with strength almost.
Yeah, it's nothing nothing too unique here. Definitely, Behemoth's Art is a very popular style of build here on a Gemini's for the reasons that you're explaining right there. So, yeah, he's in the works of that, but the action of the Malphite alone obviously applies a good amount of damage as well as that survivability. I mean, hell, he's sitting on 2,400 life now for the time being. So, yeah, no doubt Willowkeeper, they've definitely been in a tight spot and actually top lane. They're going to catch Bubbles up here. He shell surfs. He's going to get it off, but he does not have any kind of TP. He has the portal key, though. Okay, yeah, he's going to live for the time being at least.
Man, that slippery turtle, man.
Yep.
So hard to kill.
That's what he does.
Me. Oh,
okay,
man.
Gets away.
And there's nothing more annoying, though, to get someone down that low and not finishing the job. You feel like you've wasted your time, honestly. And, but it's not the biggest of deals. I mean, they're still very far ahead. And, I mean, they're in no rush to finish the game. I mean, they have the superior late game. They're pretty, and they're help one as well. They probably just will wait for the next Kongor, which should be coming in, say, like, the next 5 minutes, and they should be able to secure it. There's only one ward here placed by Fusen that somewhat overlooks the Kongor pit. They've got the Bandai and Torture as well, but so before Kongor starts to spawn, we'll probably see that cleared and Hellborn will start making their way to Kongor.
Yeah.
Drunken Master saving up a lot of gold. I think he's going to be saving up for the demonic breastplate.
Okay.
Which I honestly think buying the shield breaker would be better because bottom lane actually.
They're going to catch down here. Yep, they try to get Gemini killed all the way. He's going to live. Speaking of being a little...
So unlucky there. Like 100 HP. But yeah, that axe of the Malphite really paying off already, as well as the shrunken head. But when I go back to Drunken Master, yeah, the demonic breastplate is really good actually, you know. But I would have liked to have seen the shield breaker for 2 reasons. One, because he's going against quite a magic heavy team. He doesn't really need the sort of extra armor. But also, like, if going to shield breaker, you do so much damage, particularly for all these quite squishy heroes. You've got 4 intelligence heroes here on the Legion side. If he picks up a shield breaker, they are going to drop so quickly. But at the same time, you might want to sort of save his power supply sort of slot. And I guess demonic breastplate, it might be, you know, the logical development. But I just love when I see like the shield breaker and then after the bulwark, it just does so much damage. It's almost one-shot people almost. But in the end, decides for the bulwark. So.
Yeah, gets the demonic, so has that at least now for...
Yeah, sorry, the breastplate.
Yeah, that's fine. So he has that for the team. More items, wow, several more items.
Frostfield, yeah.
Interesting there. Frostfield play. I mean, again, there is a lot of physical presence on this Hellborn team, but I don't know, that over a sheepstick? I don't know at this point.
I think actually sheepstick would be better because you're going against a late game team, and the weaknesses of a late game team, even if he doesn't get in the late game, is that they're quite susceptible to being sort of bursted down because obviously carries are focusing on getting the late game items like the wing bow, the savage, the kind of damage items, and some carries they kind of neglect quite survivability items, and the sheepstick is going to only help try and burst down one of these heroes, and I think that's the only way they're going to really win these team fights if they can perhaps try and burst down the Drunken Master or the Gemini, and I think sheepstick would be obviously a lot better than the Frostfield play. I mean, Bubbles is slippery enough. He doesn't really need to tank up necessarily. He's got his portal key. He's got this tablet. Like he's not the person who's going to be soaking up damage. He's going to be like the time waster. Like he's got a lot of slippery skills, like the shell surf or the take cover and the Song of the Sea. I mean, like Frostfield play isn't bad. I just think sheepstick would have been better in this instance, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get at too. It's as you put in there near the end. I mean, he doesn't necessarily need a tank up. I mean, he's kind of slippery in that sense, and he has the escape mechanics, of course. So yeah, that's why it's a little. I probably would have rather seen the sheepstick too, but I mean, he does get the Frostfield plate in the end. There is some good use there, obviously, and the presence of it and what it does, and it's also not too shabby, but. Most impactful, you can definitely argue that. Anyway, Shrunken Heads are picked up on both Magnus now, and of course Hag has had his for a little bit here, as well as another 1,600 gold saved up. And speaking of Hag, she's at the top lane, kind of hanging out here in the forest and waiting for a opportunity.
That's really bottom lane, by the way.
Yep, that's a dead Myrmidon maybe. Okay. Well, no, Dalblet, he's going to be good. Not for long.
Yeah, he's dead.
Myrmidon pushing this bottom lane by himself. That's very arguable in the first place.
That was very, very strange, to be honest. Like, he was well past the river. Like, it's kind of like a unwritten law almost. Like when it gets into the late game, like if you're a supporter, you do not cross this line. I can't like signal, but you can't cross the river almost. You have to stay on your side unless your team's moving out with you.
Yeah.
Top lane actually, Hag might be in trouble.
Oh yeah, she's in a lot of trouble. No chain reactions just misses. Blinks nearly into them.
Into him, yeah. They are still chasing. I don't think they're going to catch him.
Yeah.
He's fun. But yeah, like if you're a support, like it's fine for like heroes like Hag who has an escape mechanism. But if you're like a squishy support, you're just going to feed pretty much. If you're going to go against, or if you're going to move across the river, you need to be with your team.
Yeah.
Otherwise, things like that happen pretty much. One item I pick up is kind of strange to me is that Gemini picks up the Ice Brand after picking up the Axe of Malphite.
Oh, wow.
To me, it makes absolutely no sense. Like if you're going to pick up the Axe of Malphite, you finish that Behemoth's Heart. To be honest.
That is a little odd.
It's kind of like why you're buying all these sort of build-up items and then not really finishing an item. But at the same time, if you think about it though, like Axe of Malphite gives what 25 strength, which is pretty the main. Oh, actually, Hag might be in trouble here.
Yeah, there's a find Wretched Hag, but no, the follow-up not in time. He knew that.
Yeah, going back to what I was going to say, Axe of Malphite gives you 25 strength, which is pretty much the only thing that's important to Gemini. Behemoth's Heart gives you 35 strength, and yeah, the max have
Magnus, now this. Oh, did he portal key? He did. It took me a second to realize. I saw the puzzle box minion still there, but no, he portal keyed out before he ended up getting jumped right there. So I was gonna say it's a little risky to go on a torture support with your eruption and everything, but it did get the kill. And Ophelia's touch was used as well, but a double damage Drunken Master are not going to conquer. Again, obviously they know the eruption's on cooldown. But there's still some good fighting team presence. Wretched Hag's not here, though. She's back at base currently. And she actually buys a Acolyte Staff right there. She is blinking over, though.
This is dangerous for the Last of Us here. They're fighting 45. This could be very close.
They need to go now, though, if anything. I mean, that's going to be a Conger kill, looks like. In fact, Moraxis goes in already. Conger goes down. Magnus cannot get there in time. And now the Matrix is out, so the Legion team trying to kite away. The Drunken Master has that token of life. Gemini chasing as well. Wretched Hag with the shrunken head up. She's going to try to kite them around as much as possible. And yeah, you look at the Legion team, they're just completely spread out. Myrmidon may be the sacrificial lamb here in the end. It looks like it. Even in ulti for him, he's not going to be able to get away. The fake TP doesn't work right there. So yeah, he gets picked up. And
yeah,
now
I think the Last of Us are somewhat lucky. I mean, luckily, Willowkeeper didn't have Hag there to initiate and sort of fight at Congo before Torturer was up in the end. But now it's starting to get into the late game now. 42 minutes. I mean, Gemini's getting his farm, Drunken Master's getting his farm, and this is the point where we're sort of stating where the Legion side are just, with all this magic damage, it's really kind of falling off now in terms of effectiveness in the team fights. And I mean, I think this is going to be the last fight. It's going to be the death push here coming out from Hellborn.
Yep, middle tower.
Whoa.
What's going on up here? Okay, I didn't even notice that. Moraxis just got caught off right up to the top side.
So weird.
Yeah, so that's a good start here for the Legion team as far as holding goes. There's a Gemini's going to get caught in as well. Gemini's going to end up knowing Twin Fangs away. He's barely alive with that shrunken head. You see Bubbles coming in, trying to get any kind of block or anything. Shell Surf connects. The auto attack Magma stun hits. And down goes Gemini. Wow, the Last of Us.
So weird.
Yeah.
Like, Diglett just walked up, like, there's a little trees here above the shrine near the top tower. And he started walking up. I think he saw Magnus in the trees, and he walked up here.
Okay.
And he was completely cut off from his team, and then Magnus just channeled Eruption, just killed him completely. And, like, that's not how you initiate a team fight, ladies and gentlemen. Like, you do not start a fight walking up to someone. And as a result, yeah, like, I mean, Hellborn might have the superior team fight now because it's the late game, but if you make, like, retarded plays like that, like, you're going to get paid for it, without a doubt. But I think they're only going to lose this tier 2. I don't think Legion can really push into the Rex here. As a result, they're going to take the tier 2 top. But I mean, they're still in it, though, Legion.
Exactly.
Like, a few missed plays like that can occur.
That's the big thing. It's not like, okay, I mean, they do get a couple of towers even in the end. So overall, I mean, actually very good response there for Willowkeeper. But again, you look at the gold now being saved up across the board. I mean, you got 2,800 on Magnus, 2,700 on Bubbles, 2,200 on Wretched Hag. He's actually very close. He's going to be finishing a sheep stick here in the near future, most likely, with that Acolyte staff. So, yeah, that really kept, if anything, Willowkeepers in this game and gave them actually a decent fighting chance, really, is what it comes down to. So, I mean, they have the token of life still on Drunken Master. He has it for just over 2 minutes. So if you're the Last of Us, you probably want to try to make the best use of that here, but I don't know if they're going to be able to, honestly. I mean, the time might just be ticking a little too quickly. He buys a level 2 shield breaker, by the way.
Yeah, he's going to be
So
hitting so hard right now. Going back to the point about Gemini's item build, though, I sort of got cut off while the Commonwealth fight was happening. But if you think about it, so if you think about the items compared to Icebrand over finishing off the Behemoth's Heart, so Axe of Malphite offers you 25 strength, and then Behemoth's Heart offers you 35 strength and, say, like 300 max health. And to be honest, the 300 max health isn't a big deal coming out for the Gemini, whereas Icebrand costs about the same as sort of finishing off the Behemoth's Heart, whereas instead the Icebrand actually offers you 16 strength, which is, if my maths is right, 8 more strength or 9 more strength, I think, than finishing off the Behemoth's Heart. And so in that sense, actually going the Icebrand would probably be maybe potentially better than finishing off the Behemoth's Heart.
Well, the regen, though, from the Behemoth's Heart, it's also pretty nice.
I don't think the regen works in split dog form, though.
Oh, no, split dog form, probably not, yeah. Okay.
And that's what, and also the 300 max health doesn't add that to split dog for me, but that's why I think just terms of strength, the Icebrand makes actually a little bit more sense, although it's just kind of weird to see.
Gotcha. Drunken Master, he's already used Untouchable. Magnus just kind of toying with him, see if he can bait anything out, but not going to be the case there, and that ends up being an easy tower kill top lane. So obviously that is the last outer tower destroyed in favor of The Last of Us. So they're not going to necessarily use a token of life in terms of pushing into the base, but does get them a little bit, wow, excuse me, a little bit more fighting presence there before falling back, and more farm we go. So again, as it clearly continues to be the case, it's not changed by any means. They still have a very, very strong late game, so if they want to keep farming, I mean, not necessarily the worst idea in the world, but Sheepstick is finished now.
So.
Yeah,
he's just so fat. I mean, he goes on the strength sim, he's like nearly 3,000 HP for like a carry. It's quite absurd. So you're talking about Sheepstick on Hag, you say?
Yep, has that finish, so... Soul's Bulwark on Magnus, actually, and then Arcana picked up by Bubble, so he's staying away from the Sheepstick himself.
Yeah, I mean, Hellflower is actually really good against Gemini, because you can Hellflower one of the dogs, and you won't be able to split back or form back into the main dog form after you've already ulted, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So it's kind of quite a good counter. Hag might be jumping in on this Gemini, but he's so fat, I don't think he'd be able to kill him himself. Yeah, he won't.
Probably not. I mean, Magnus is kind of here too, so maybe with him, but... yeah, it's just...
even that, the Gemini is so fat. It's going to be really hard to take him down, and it's only going to get harder as well. He's probably going to finish the Dawnbringer and then finish the Behemoth's Heart, probably.
Yeah. So you see the Hellborn team, again, no token of life, obviously, anymore, but they're going to group up the bottom side, and Congress still has about 4 more minutes remaining, I would think, before... 3 or 4 more minutes before he's going to be back up, so about the 50-minute mark or so just after. But for now, going to kind of control the Legion jungle here. But, I mean, at the same time, Willowkeeper just farming the Hellborn jungle, so it's not like they're necessarily taking away at this point. Magnus is up here, and he's going to push the top lane, middle lane. Okay, no, he's fine.
Yeah, he's to be fun. I'd actually like to see, I know it sounds strange, but I'd like to see Legion try and make something happen, because the later this goes on, it's going to be worse and worse for them. I mean, they're already fighting against like a Hellborn team, so... you know, they're going to have the Congo disadvantage as Legion, and obviously they're going against a more superior late game team. And I mean, they've got the items they probably want to need on the Legion side, and so there's no point really waiting, because adding a few Sheepsticks or Hellflowers here isn't going to make the biggest difference compared to like items like Behemoth's Heart being picked up by like Gemini or Rift Shards being picked up by Drunken Master. So. They need to do something here, I think, because I don't think they're going to win the next team fight if everything goes according to plan.
Yeah.
Although this is Pon and nothing goes according to plan.
Exactly, yeah.
So, I guess... but I mean, there is advantage of defending your base, though. You have the superior logistical, tactical initiation advantage, because you're fighting like, uphill, or fighting downhill, sorry, if you're Legion. And just, you know, the enemy team has to go up a choke point. And so, you know, fighting in your base is probably the superior team fight advantage, but at the same time, Hellborn could really, you know, wait, you know, for the next 20 minutes if they wanted to, just to get more farm. And so it's one of those situations that it's really hard, like, because I mean they're losing team fights already, so fighting uphill, going high ground is really hard as well. And it's just kind of like the only really hope they've got is maybe getting like a team fight outside of base, which they're trying to do. They're farming the enemy jungle. trying to get any pickoffs perhaps if Hellborn come. Because if they're going to take a team fight, they want to take it, you know, just in a jungle away from, you know, towers or etc.
Yeah.
If they're going to sort of maybe, because they want to sort of take a team fight outside of base and then get racks instead of, you know, taking the team fight inside the base, etc.
I mean, I will say they've climbed. I was looking at the team stats, man. It's basically even once again. So it was about an 8,000 goal lead or so for The Last of Us for a little bit there, but they've really climbed back in. Has the Legion team at least, but obviously again that only means so much. In fact, Wretched Hag, whew, yeah, she blinks away. She should be fine here. As, yeah, she's going to TP out. That was a close attempt. In fact, Gemini stuns near the spot that she was, but not for long. Moraxi steps the middle lane, but the numbers, that Legion team, they have support here. And will they be able to maybe respond to this? Red stun on a Drunken Master. No, they're not going to. They maybe figure there's a couple more there. In fact, Magnus, though, no, Boxy going back in. The puzzle box comes out. Drunken Master locked down with the Sheepstick. Wheatfield hits as well. Here comes Gemini. Here comes Moraxis. Wretched Hag is putting some auto attacks. She has not used her bat. Oh, she did use her bat blast, but in the end, Bubbles is going to end up falling. Magnus goes down. No, he actually stuns out. He does manage to live. Nobody dead on the Hellborn team, though. Magnus is going to end up falling. You see Wretched Hag. She's trying to at least finish off Drunken Master, but no. She cannot, and now she has to run away. Her team is dead. Oh, geez. Yeah, they forced a awkward fight right there.
I mean, it just gets to the point now where the Hellborn side are just too strong in terms of late game. They're too tanky, and with the strong in heads, all the magical damage coming out from Legion is just not enough, unfortunately. And I just think Legion have maybe missed their timing, really. But at the same time, the problem with the draft here on the Legion side is that, yeah, it's good and all, they can get, you know, early aggression and you know, early aggression and sort of team fights and stuff, but they can't really push the team fight if their other team does want to dodge it, because they don't have any pushing element. In terms of like Stay Green or BMG, they used to run like, you know, good team fight with like Ophelia or like Rhapsody, which is obviously a good team fight, but they had that pushing potential. So if they wanted to force a team fight, they could just by, you know, getting map objectives like towers or even Congo. But yeah, the Legion side don't have that luxury. So they're going on Gemini here.
Kind of. I mean, he gets tabbed away to quick Twin Fangs, and he is going to be fine. Although Wretched Hag is still chasing, has that sheep stick, but no, there's a split up from Gemini, and he is going to be fine in the end. So. Yeah, they don't like massively push into the Legion base by any means, but they do win the fight, and they push back, and now that the climb is just, it's going to be too much of an uphill climb, it seems like, for Willowkeeper to get back into this one. I mean, there is 3,700 gold on a Wretched Hag, but, you know, again, it's what can she buy for that to really make the biggest difference right here. The late game is definitely here, and we are already seeing the power of The Last of Us as we expected, really. Level 3 Shieldbreaker on Drunken Master with his demonic breastplate as well. I mean, he is hitting very, very hard. Gemini on top of that is going to most likely finish that Behemoth Heart finally after finishing the full Dawnbringer first. So, I mean, you see a demonic breastplate just purchased by Magnus right there. But again, that's not really a big item that's going to change everything here most likely. So, pending some mistakes, which again today seems like we've had some fair ones.
Yeah. Hon's one of those games that it can just turn in a matter of seconds, honestly. So, I mean, there's always a chance, really, even if it looks grim or bleak. Conga's up now, and I think Hellborn should be able to take this without much trouble. Actually, they're going in here.
Moraxis is going to go in first. Now, Puzzle Box is used in. Just stand on that. Oh, you see that explosion for the Mauler. Actually doing some good damage. Wretched actually blinked in there. But no follow to be had. So The Last of Us, they're still playing it pretty passive themselves. They don't want to give them that chance that Willowkeeper's looking for. So as you're saying, they could probably comfortably do Kongor, but they don't want to risk too much. And they are going to find Bubbles by himself. Now Magma stuns in to try to counter it. Bubbles is going to be pushed and pulled every which way. The show's kind of awkward. He will use to take cover, and here we go, fully committed. Bubbles goes down, and the Legion team just spreading away once again. Bubbles does not have a buyback. Myrmidon is going to somehow get out. Well, that was really...
How did he survive that?
Yeah, I don't know how they did.
Yeah, I think they're just going to go back and take Congo. I mean, now it's the third kill. Congo's even more important, and they've got the late game. I mean, they probably could go maybe bottom lane, but it's just a risk they just don't want to take. Bubbles might have a buyback, and I mean, ultimates are down for Mirax and Ophelia, so it's just easier and more safe to go Congo now, and they're going to take it quite easily. They're probably going to give the token to Gemini, maybe the cheese to Drunken Master, or the other way around. But it doesn't matter too much really who takes who, but yeah, and that is what they're going to. I keep calling it cheese, even though it's bananas. It's like monkeys
monkey,
don't eat cheese. Yeah, monkeys don't eat cheese.
Should be obvious. So yeah, bananas drop this time. Drunken Master picks that up. Gemini with that token. And why not? Why not group up and just push into the base here? Because again, what are Willie Cooper's chances of actually holding off at this point? So yeah, they are going to make their way in the bottom side of the map. Sheepstick even just delivered 2 more Axis to assist right here, and The Last of Us's chances. So Willie Keeper, they're going to stick in for another fight, but again, unless it's just completely somehow everything goes their way. This should be the final push here. He buys a Restoration Stone, does Wretched Hag. So, well, he has one of those now, so we will have that double sheep coming here, as well as a double ultimate, really, the big ones, going into this last fight. But even with that, it's like, will that be enough, especially with these shrunken heads and how inherently tanky they are. Gemini's going to split up right there. They're going to jump more Axis, actually. Gets a lot of burst damage coming out. Storm Spirit, though, going to be used. Going to be fine after the fact. No, he will finally fall. There's a Restless Stone. Another Bat Blast. Ophelia's picked up. This is working pretty well somehow for the Legion team, actually. But Drunken Master now jumps on the Wretched Hag. Look at the lockdown. And Wretched Hag will fall. Drunken Master, so much freaking damage, as we knew he could do. And now Bubbles, in the meantime, he's going to portal key away before he gets continued to be gone on. Magma stuns in. I mean, they are defending as much as they can, but went a little better than I thought it would, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's just like Gemini and Drunken are the 2 powerhouses now in terms of this, and they are going to GG well play. It's just like, yeah, they killed the supporting cast, but the real damage dealers were the Drunken and the Gemini, and in the end it was just too much for him.
Yeah, that it was. That it was. So The Last of Us, they take game number 2, and that means we got a 3rd and final game going to be coming up here. Willow Keeper versus The Last of Us to determine who's going to take this series and get the better of the point value in this case, obviously. So it should be a good finish here. So don't think there's much else to add with that said. Definitely a good game there, though, overall, and fun to watch. GG's coming out even after the fact. So, but no. So we'll see what Willow Keeper maybe has up their sleeve for this 3rd game. Especially when it comes to the draft, maybe go back to their Gunblade roots and make something happen there. And then Berserker will be picked up by The Last of Us, and then everything will be cool.